good first night of the draft for us. I think we're excited to add Yaxel to the program. So, it's a guy that we feel like fits with our system right away. There's basically never been a player this good at his age. So it's unique for us to evaluate, but I think we felt like to get him and add him into what we have just checks a lot of boxes.
Big thanks to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Standing 6'9", weighing 240 pounds with a 7'4" wingspan, just 23 years old and selected 11th overall after an entire draft cycle spent debating the 10 names ahead of him. He then arrived in Las Vegas and averaged 17 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 4.7 assists while shooting 60% from the field. Then kicked off Summer League with a 21-point, 10-rebound, 6-assist performance against Dallas that had front offices around the league asking the same question. Did the Warriors just steal one? The NBA spent the last decade searching for elite shooters, and Golden State may have just drafted the exact kind of player the league still doesn't have an answer for. And the most frightening part for the other 29 teams is that he's already admitted he's not even in peak condition yet. But to understand why the rest of the league should be paying attention, you have to go back to the kid almost nobody noticed in South Jersey. To see why the Warriors may have shifted the balance of power in the Western Conference, you have to start with a young player from South Jersey, because outside of Camden County, almost nobody was paying attention to Pennsauken, New Jersey. It wasn't known as a basketball powerhouse or a pipeline for elite recruits, just a South Jersey town that most college basketball fans couldn't even locate on a map, and that's where this journey began. His parents, Yaxel and Okari, both had basketball in their blood. His mother represented the Dominican Republic on the women's national basketball team, and his father played for the men's national team. So basketball was part of his life long before he ever stepped onto a court, and the foundation had already been laid. Then everything nearly fell apart before it truly began. As a freshman, he was cut from his high school team because of poor grades, with no exceptions. He didn't play as a sophomore, and he didn't play as a junior either. So 2 full years of high school basketball disappeared, the exact seasons when most recruits build highlight tapes, earn exposure, and attract major college programs, while he watched from the stands. Finally, as a senior, he returned to the court, but he played just 11 games, and that's the entire high school resume. 11 games in his senior season, with his team winning 10 of them, and that was all he had to show recruiters. 11 games of film, no shoe circuit resume, no national exposure, no scholarship offers from the programs everyone dreams about, with Duke passing, Kentucky passing, the entire ACC passing, and the Big Ten passing. Only one opportunity remained: Arizona Western College, a junior college tucked away in the middle of nowhere, competing at a level that almost nobody outside the coaching community pays attention to. Yet inside that gym, he accomplished something remarkable by becoming Arizona Western's all-time leading rebounder. Read that again, the all-time leading rebounder in the history of the program. Achievements like that don't happen by accident at a level very few people are watching. They happen when a player the basketball world already counted out forces the game to rewrite his story. Every step of the way, basketball kept telling him he didn't belong, and every step he took, he proved basketball wrong. By the time UAB came calling, he had already become a reclamation project, and what happened next transformed him into a lottery pick. When UAB offered him a chance, the next 2 seasons completely changed what NBA scouts believed was possible from a junior college transfer. In his first season, he arrived as a hustle big, a rebounder, a finisher around the rim, and a cleanup player, and he earned first-team All-AAC honors, was named AAC Defensive Player of the Year, and won conference tournament MVP, all during his first season at the Division I level. Then came year 2, and he returned looking like an entirely different player, averaging 17.7 points, 11.4 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.8 blocks, and 1.7 steals per game. Take another look at that stat line. Those aren't typical numbers for a traditional big man. Those are the kinds of numbers you'd expect from a point forward, built like a relentless paint-crashing rebounder. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you subscribe to Hoop County.
Every week, we break down the biggest stories shaping the NBA. Now let's get back to it. Then came the stat that made everybody stop and pay attention. He became just one of only 2 players in NCAA Division I history to finish a season with more than 600 points, 400 rebounds, and 150 assists. Think about that for a second. In the entire history of Division I college basketball, only 2 players have ever reached those numbers. Back-to-back first-team All-AAC, back-to-back AAC Defensive Player of the Year. He went from being a recruit nobody wanted to becoming the most coveted player in the entire transfer portal. Then he made the decision that changed everything. He entered the 2025 NBA draft process, and while scouts projected him as a first-round pick, he pulled his name out and chose to return to college for one more season, one more chance, one more challenge to conquer. Michigan won the bidding war with an NIL package reportedly worth around $5 million. Head coach Dusty May had a clear vision: take a player who had spent his career dominating inside and move him to the perimeter, turning a traditional center into a positionless forward. The transition happened right away. A player who had spent years backing defenders down in the post was suddenly bringing the ball up the floor in the Big Ten, operating as a point forward, reading defenses, knocking down pull-up jumpers, and creating open looks for teammates. But before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Prize Picks. If you're a sports fan like I am, this is definitely worth checking out. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it's incredibly easy to use. All you have to do is choose more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. For the World Cup final this Sunday, Prize Picks has a special Lionel Messi guaranteed pick of more than 0.5 passes attempted. It's available for both new and existing customers when you sign up using code HMA or the link in the description below. As for my picks, I've got Emiliano Martinez for more than 3 saves, Lamine Yamal for more than 1.5 shots on target, and of course the guaranteed Lionel Messi pick of more than 0.5 passes attempted, which should be an easy one for him. I'm playing it as a power play, but you can also choose a flex play if you'd rather go for a lower risk payout. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida, so there's a good chance you can play as well. And here's the best part: new users can download the app, use code HMA, play a $5 lineup, and instantly receive $50 in lineup credit. I've left the link in the description below, so be sure to check out Prize Picks. Now, back to the story. His final season at Michigan ended with averages of 15.1 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 3.2 assists, while shooting 52% from the field, 37% from 3, and 82% from the free throw line. He was named Big Ten Player of the Year, a consensus first-team All-American, and a member of the Big Ten All-Defensive Team. Every major award available he collected, and the ending couldn't have been scripted any better. Michigan cut the nets in April, becoming the first Big Ten program to win the NCAA championship since Michigan State did it back in 2000. 26 years. He was unquestionably the best player on that championship team. At UAB, he was an interior scorer. At Michigan, he became a point forward. Then he finished as a national champion. 3 completely different versions of the same player across 3 straight seasons. He wasn't just improving, he was reinventing himself every single year. That's what NBA scouts couldn't stop talking about. Which brings us to draft night, the moment the Warriors made a decision that the rest of the league may already regret. Draft night, Barclays Center. The lights came up as the first 10 picks unfolded almost exactly the way mock drafts had predicted for months. He sat there watching the lottery disappear, one selection after another, one name after another, none of them his. Then came pick number 11. Golden State was on the clock. The commissioner stepped to the podium and finally called his name. The room reacted. The Warriors front office reacted. The television analysts reacted, because everyone in the building understood exactly what the Warriors had just done. Now zoom out and look at the Golden State roster. Steph Curry was 38 years old. Draymond Green was 36. Al Horford was 40. Kristaps Porzingis remained one of the league's most talented big men when healthy, but injuries had always been part of the conversation. Jimmy Butler, the centerpiece of Golden State's next chapter, was recovering from a torn ACL that would keep him sidelined to begin the season. Moses Moody was also out with a torn patellar tendon, delaying his return as well. The Warriors finished last season at 37-45. They lost in the play-in tournament and missed the playoffs for the first time during the Steph Curry era outside of injury-riddled seasons. That was the reality Golden State faced on draft night, and that completely changed what pick number 11 needed to become. They weren't searching for a long-term project. They didn't want someone who needed 2 years of development. They weren't looking for an 18-year-old prospect who might blossom 5 years from now. They needed a player who could contribute immediately, someone big enough to defend opposing forwards while Butler recovered, someone skilled enough to initiate the offense whenever Curry rested, someone mature enough to walk into a championship locker room without needing to be brought along slowly. Instead, they landed the oldest, most polished, and most positionally versatile forward in the entire draft on a roster that desperately needed exactly that type of player.
But here's the part the league still hasn't fully realized. He didn't just land in the perfect situation. He walked into Summer League and made every scouting report look conservative. Because what we've seen over the last 2 weeks in Las Vegas isn't the story of a rookie adjusting to the NBA. It's the story of a rookie who already looks ahead of schedule. Start with the film. His California Classic debut against the Lakers earlier this month marked the first NBA-level competition of his career. He finished with 19 points on a perfect 6-for-6 shooting night, including 4-for-4 from beyond the arc, while adding 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Read those numbers again. 6 shots, 6 makes, 4 threes. Then came the Las Vegas opener against Dallas. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Against Oklahoma City, he added 14 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals in another Warriors victory. Then came Memphis. Despite the loss, he posted 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 6 of 12 from the field. He wasn't the reason they lost. Across his Summer League run, he averaged roughly 17 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 4.7 assists while shooting 60% from the field. But the real story shows up in the plus-minus numbers. Whenever he was on the floor, the Warriors outscored opponents by roughly 40 combined points. He led the team in plus-minus every single time he played. Steve Kerr even flew out to watch him in person, and during those games, the coaching staff quietly experimented with lineups that offered a glimpse of the role they already envisioned for him once the regular season begins. And here's the part that should have the rest of the league paying attention. He's already told reporters that he's not even in game shape yet, and since draft night he's been working to catch up physically, still building his conditioning, still finding his rhythm, still learning the offense, which means what we've seen so far is the floor, not the ceiling. Now look at the skill set. For the last decade, the NBA has been built around one prototype: shooting, three-point volume, floor spacing, and small ball lineups, with nearly every front office chasing the same kind of 6'6" combo wing. But behind closed doors, coaches know something else. You can build a game plan to slow down shooting. You can prepare for speed. What you can't easily prepare for is a 6'9", 240-pound forward with a 7'4" wingspan who can defend all 5 positions, rebound outside his area, create offense like a wing, and still knock down 37% of his threes. That's the kind of player who changes the way the modern game is played, and that's exactly the player Golden State believes it just drafted. He doesn't win with one elite skill. He wins by doing everything: rim protector, switchable defender, disruptive help defender, lob threat, relentless offensive rebounder, and secondary playmaker. The comparisons have already started. Some see shades of an early career OG Anunoby. Others see Aaron Gordon if everything reaches its ceiling. There's some Keegan Murray offensively, a James Worthy type frame, and the basketball IQ of Draymond Green in a positionless era. When you place that skill set onto this Warriors roster, the fit almost feels too perfect to be accidental. Stephen Curry needs another playmaker for the minutes when he isn't controlling the offense, and he provides that. The Warriors need someone capable of defending elite forwards without asking Jimmy Butler to carry that assignment for 40 minutes every night once he returns, and he provides that too. They've also spent years ranking near the bottom of the league in second chance points and offensive rebounding, and he helps solve that problem as well. 3 needs, 1 rookie. That's the reality of Yaxel Lendeborg. The Warriors didn't just become younger, they added a player the modern NBA still doesn't have a clean answer for, and they landed him with the 11th overall pick. Now only one question remains. What happens once the games actually start counting? 6'9", 240 pounds, a 7'4" wingspan, Big Ten Player of the Year, NCAA champion, 11th overall pick, and Summer League averages of roughly 17 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 4.7 assists on 60% shooting. For years, Golden State has searched for a lottery-caliber forward to grow alongside Stephen Curry, and every attempt, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, or Moses Moody, either needed more time or never fully came together. This one looks ready from day one. The Western Conference got older this offseason. Golden State got Yaxel Lendeborg. And don't forget, he said it himself, he's still not in peak condition. If this version is the floor, then the player who takes the court in November could become a matchup the rest of the league isn't prepared for. The NBA spent the last decade chasing the perfect modern forward. Golden State didn't have to chase one. They drafted him. Do you think he deserves to start on opening night? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out one of the videos on your screen next.